Hello there, and welcome to my Unison League channel, and I will be your host, Timely. So, A-Team has just dropped a new batch of equipment and a new monster that I want to talk about with you guys. So, first, let's go over the weapons, okay? I'm just going to give you a brief analysis on them, and they're pretty much the class exclusive skills that we found on the 31 cost weapons way before. So lots of the new classes, the extra classes, are going to have access to Prophet Testament, Shooter Testament, Enmity Testament, and Defender Testament, I believe. I'm not sure, I think that's all of them, but they all have new names now, like Infiltrator's Pride and Sniper's Pride. So I guess it's okay, but in my opinion, guys, these are class exclusive skills, and it is said these skills have a lower proc rate. So it is said that they have a 15% chance in your main slot, and then even lower in your sub slot, like a 7 to 8% chance in your sub slot. Now, if you were to get these weapons to skill level 6 and skill level 7, you'd be able to get that proc rate to 20 to 25%, but these are 35 cost weapons, so do we even have the resources to get it to skill level 6 and 7? It would honestly take too much, and getting duplicates and other 35 cost weapons and then feeding it into these kinds of weapons is just not worth it yet, because 35 cost is relatively new. So I do not think this proc is actually worth it. You'll find much better procs. I would much rather put on a seal proc or a art proc or anything else that has a really high proc rate from the get-go. So I would give these weapons a pass, but if you really want a nice stat stick, then I guess they are okay to have. It's just be wary that the proc rate is low and you're probably rarely going to see it. So now let's talk about the armor. Now the armor has me very interested, and I actually thought about going for it, but as of now on my build, I cannot really fit another constant. I would have to take out something that I actually need, so this would be like more of like an icing on the cake tier damage in my opinion. Okay, so for the armors, it is a constant critical chance up XL. Okay, so it's a chance to massively increase critical chance when using an ability during battle. Now, it is hard to say how potent these skills are. They could be either 5 to 10% added crit rate, but even then, I'm not sure. So I'm just gonna say it's either 5 to 10%, because if you wear 2, then you're adding, if it was 10% and you would add 2, you're adding 20% crit rate, which is huge because you have a 10% chance to crit, like, naturally. So I guess I would say it'd be like a 5% chance, because it just seems reasonable. So if you wear 2, you'd have like an extra 10% chance at critting, and then with your natural ability to crit, then that would add up to 20%, which is not bad. That's actually really good. You have a 1 in 5 chance to crit. Now the reason why I think these are really good is because then you can take out all your fatal testaments and then just have procs that boost ability power, and then with these constants you have a higher chance to crit. Now if you were to double proc, you get that nice insane 80 to 100 AP increase, and then when you crit on top of that, you can get that nice extra 50 AP from your crit. So that's pretty much like a triple proc, which is very valuable here. I wouldn't say it's exactly broken, but I would say that it's more of like the icing on the cake when you do not have anything else to throw in there. And also, the armors and whatnot look very nice. I like them a lot, but unfortunately I'm probably not going to go for them. And now lastly, let's check out this new monster. So we have the Chosen One, Noah. Okay, now let's read his ability. So, Reparation, ability power of 260, damages an enemy at random 10 times, with physical time damage with a success value of 70. So, and then it increases his ability power by 10 per skill level, so he has a 300 AP hit at random 10 times, which in my opinion is actually really strong, guys. one hit is equal to that of a Cindy kick, one Cindy kick, because Cindy hits 2 times. Noah's bound to hit everyone 2 times. He could be doing as much damage as a Cindy, or maybe even more. So he still has one-shot potential if you have the stats to do it. Next, he has a new ability. Guys, he removes frenzy from all enemies. This is crazy because lots and lots of bosses like to use frenzy at given thresholds of their health. Say at 50% health, the boss uses frenzy and then just fucking kills everyone. Well, now you can plan for that and use Noah to get rid of the frenzy so that your stellar gears will still work. You can still mitigate damage with constant skills, which is super valuable, and your procs would work as well. Keep in mind that this doesn't get rid of Piercer, so it's not like foolproof. The boss can still use Piercer and Frenzy. I've seen it, which I always thought it was weird. I'm like, why is the boss using Piercer and Frenzy? Kind of like, you know, it's a little overkill. But now that we have monsters that take away Frenzy, now there's going to be more monsters that give themselves Piercer, so there is that. Alrighty, and then next he applies a Reliance State to all allies that nullifies Unison gauge reduction 1 time. Now I can see that being very, very good for game modes like Duel and Calo and GB and RGB. That's going to be a really, really good skill because it doesn't have a duration. It lasts forever. It's a state, just like the awakening. You're in an awakened state. It's going to last until somebody uses a unison reduction ability or a monster on you, which is insanely overpowered in my opinion. And I'll tell you guys why after I finish reading his description. So lastly, he puts up a new field effect called Kaijin or Cascasian. I think that means like a some sort of like a monster in Japanese. I'm not sure. Demon. So increases max HP by 100%, nullifies debuffs, nullifies unison gauge reduction, and then boosts ability power of critical hits by 50, and then increases attack ability accuracy by 30%, and then permits piercing through damage reduction, damage reflection, and damage nullifying effects when attacking on your character for 60 seconds. Jesus Christ, that is like reading a goddamn freaking paragraph. But I can see this new aura being very, very overpowered. It gives that nice boost to accuracy, making it so that Mage's Starburst can hit all 5 times. It gives that nice boost in crit, which could stack with Fanatic Soul, so that your Fanatic Soul can be boosted to 100. I'm not really sure how that works, because Fanatic Soul, you can put Fanatic Soul over Hero. Now if you put Fanatic Soul over this new aura, and then this new aura has an innate you know, boost in ability power for your critical hits, does it stack to 100? Now these are things I do not know, but my speculation, I think that the player were to have an increased critical damage of an extra 100, which is freaking OP. So if you were to crit like 1 time, you would get a 150 AP increase. I don't know. There might be a soft cap on that. Who knows? And then lastly, you get a Piercer. You get a Piercer that goes through damage reduction, damage reflection, and nullifying effects, making it so that nulls don't work, barriers don't work, none of that crap works, procs don't work, this is extremely overpowered. So I feel like this is going to have a very, very, very good niche in PvP and in player versus enemy. This guy's kit is just so good. Like, let's go back to Reliance State. So Reliance State, you put it on all your allies, and it's going to stay there until somebody uses Unison down, like Omen, negative pressure. Now, if you were to pop this during a Unison battle and you win, and then you keep all 5 of your guys in, those 5 players are going to be immune to negative pressure, Omen, and whatnot. So you guys have the luxury of just waiting to see what your opponents throw, if that's the kind of strategy you guys do. Now if you have a treasure hunter, you can make it even deadlier by extending the bottom 3 characters and then having this monster up at the same time, making it so that even if 2 lancers were to cover one side with 2 negative pressures, it still would not do a thing. And then you would be able to punish those lancers with your own omen or negative pressure. And I also want to compare his damage to like Odin or something like that, because he does 300 AP per hit. And then if you look at Odin, if I can find it, I have so much crap in my stuff, it's stupid. So if you look at Odin does 210 ability power. Odin does 210 ability power, and then each skill increase he does 10 more AP, so he does a total of 250 ability power per hit. So Noah has 50 more AP per hit, so it's a little bit more than Odin. But Odin can go through barriers, resurrection, reflection, and all that good stuff. You know, that's the thing though about these monsters. If they don't get rid of barriers, if they don't get rid of resurrection and ward, they have to have ridiculous ability power to kill other players, because that's what players do nowadays. They stack their stellars, they got Xeno gears, they have almighty cuts. So you need a very, very powerful monster to actually get through all that crap. So his damage is still pretty decent in my opinion. So yeah guys, that's pretty much all I have for now. Oh yeah, and make sure to farm the hell out of this collab event. Get those armors from the armor spawn. They're 36 cost gears for 30 gems each. Very useful. To get the collab monster, all you have to do, rank 2000. You get the first 2 pots, easy peasy. Free stats. If you want to farm the fire nicks in the box, make sure to do the lowest AP with Treasure Hunter and get those box tickets, and then empty out that box 3 times. Alright, so that's it for me. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe if you want more. I have to get going now. Peace.